Hey there. So this is take number 3. Naka-Kon was great. It went fantastic. I went with my brother, caught up with some friends, saw some other people. Didn't have that much time. The one panel that I did go to was the Godzilla one. I had never been to Naka-Kon as just an attendee. That had not happened prior. All the years I'd ever gone, I was a vendor. I wanted to go. Number one, I didn't make it in, but number two, I wanted to go just because I actually never just gone and been able to kind of enjoy the show. We got there about 9 o'clock in the morning or so, waited for a while. No, I take that back. We got there about 8:30. I think I parked at 8:25. We got there because I didn't know. I had no idea how many people were going to be there, what it was. I know that the capacity is somewhere around 7,000 people, but I didn't think they'd all be there in the morning. I thought I was going to have a lot more filmed, but it turns out when I do the show, I'm far more focused on the business and promotion side. So because of that, I end up filming more as a vendor than as an attendee. I ended up taking far more time looking and buying and doing things. I'll do a different video on that too as well. So I ended up picking up some really cool things too, and I loved this year's badge design. Freaking amazing. I got a bunch of stuff spread out all over the studio right now of things I picked up, including one real holy grail that I really wanted. Overall, I think the show went really well. It's interesting when you are on the other side of a table and you're attending a show. I didn't really have any criticisms. I did have one thing that I posted about. In fact, I'll show you right here. The fellow named Rob was walking around the show with a Game Boy that had the Game Boy camera in it, that also had a Game Boy printer. And he was printing out photos he was taking on his Game Boy camera to various cosplayers. I can't put into words enough how wonderfully special that is. And so when I go up and talk to him, I was like, what was the impetus for this? And he's like, man, and this isn't verbatim. I'm probably paraphrasing this far more, but it was essentially, he simply wanted to do something to make people smile. And there was something energetic, positive, and powerful in his words. The simple action of just taking this retro tech and doing this sort of thing on the show floor. And I happened to catch this moment where he walked up and he talked to the cosplayer who was doing Link and took a photo of him. And after I posted this, I was really happy to see that so many other people had wonderful interactions with him. That's just so rad, dude. That is absolutely rad. That is absolutely amazing. I just love that idea. I mean, something like that is so compelling because in a world where, never mind the fact that shows are a good bit of escapism, and that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. Boy, do we ever need that now more than ever. But when you have somebody that just does something so simple, good-natured, it shouldn't be shocking, but it is, in a good way. I'm interested to see what happens in the next 5 to 10 years with this show. I imagine that I'll still be trying to attend this show as long as I possibly can, as long as it's around. I hope it grows for quite a while. So I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and, get this thing ready for Monday's release. So I hope you guys enjoy that other video, because that was a lot of fun to kind of piece together. The really weird thing was that I ended up, like I said earlier, not getting as many shots as I would have liked, but I was able to be more compact with it this time. So I think I enjoyed it a little bit more working within that confine. Anyway, I rambled on enough. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here because I think there's some storms on the way, because it certainly sounds a little shitty outside right now. Yeah, hopefully it's nothing too bad. I checked the radar earlier and it looks like there could be some rain coming. I don't know. Anyway, talk to you guys later. So it did turn out, ended up having some really crappy weather. A bunch of trees fell down in the neighborhood. I was out checking my tree that's out in front of my house, and it had some broken branches. Nothing too bad. I don't want anything to happen to this old tree, but that's the problem. We have isolated trees standing. You end up with stuff like this. This tree fell on my neighbor's car as she was sitting outside and almost pinned her in the car. Evidently, the top part of this hit her car, while she was in there. So her husband and I and a few others were just double checking to see what damage had been done, and I was out there just redirecting traffic down from the street, but people were still driving through, even as most of the neighbors were coming out with chainsaws and stuff. Anyone that could work with anything, we had to get it out of the street, but people were still driving around. Stuff like this makes me really happy. I don't always get along with a lot of my neighbors, but it is nice to see when some real bullshit like this goes down, that everyone pulls together and helps each other out. I really wish this was, something that was more common. And I don't know that it'll ever be perfect, but it's nice to see something like this anywhere.